What's up, y'all? Welcome to Country with Noah, or welcome back to Country with Noah. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a movie called Train Dreams. Now, this movie is on Netflix, but before I start the review, if you enjoy this content or any of the content that I post to this channel, can you please do a few things for me? Like this video, subscribe, and share this video. And also ring the notification bell because it keeps you guys notified whenever I post a video to this channel. Do those free things, and I would really appreciate it. Um, and yeah, so let's get into the review. So this movie is on Netflix, and I heard great things about this movie. Like, it's an Oscar contender. It's a great movie. The reason why I'm covering it on the Country Channel is because it takes place in a small town, and it's about this guy named Robert, and it basically tells the story of his whole life. So Robert is a log worker, or what you would call nowadays a lumberjack, and it basically tells the story of his whole life. So it starts when he's a child, then it goes up to when he's 85, I believe. And this movie stars Joel Edgerton, and this performance from Joel is a career defining performance, bro. Like, this movie is not my movie of the year, but like, and also the first half of this movie, especially the romance between Robert and his wife, is very like a country song. It's like a country song. So the first half, like the first 20 minutes, they establish like what Robert's job is, which is being a lumberjack, and they also establish like he meets this girl, and he falls in love with her. He builds a cabin. They build a cabin, and they start their own life together. Right, right, um, and then like it goes through different eras of his life. So the first half of a movie is like he has to split his time between going to work, um, cut down logs in the forest, and I mean deep in the forest. I don't mean like he comes back home every day. I mean like he he has to go like deep into the woods because um this movie takes place in like the 1880s. So like it runs his whole life. So like doesn't take place in modern day, right? So there is so what Robert does is the movie shows him splitting his time between his wife and child, and um for the first half of the movie, it shows him splitting his time between his wife and his child, and providing for his wife and his child, right? Because um, l- being a lumberjack is a very dangerous job, right? So he got paid very well for being a lumberjack, right? Or not very well, but he got paid for every job that he did, and the further he went away from home, the more money he got paid. And like for example, and keep in mind, guys, this is in like the 1880s, right? So it's not it like money was worth a lot more back then than it is now, right? So like um he would get paid $4 a day for every job that he did. So in order to provide for his family, he has to go work further and further away, right? and you see the romance start to you see the romance begin with his wife, Robert's wife, and then you see it evolve to they're having a kid, and the kid's name is um, Kate, right? The kid's name is Kate, and Kate is like every time he has to leave to go work, be a lumberjack, he's like he's so sad, but he has to go, right? Because that's how they make their livelihood. That's how they make their money, right? And um, right, and throughout the movie, like you start to see like the technology start to get introduced throughout the movie, and the first half of the movie people die because it's a dangerous job, right? It still is a dangerous job. Being a lumberjack is still a very dangerous job. But the first half of a movie, you think okay, this is gonna be like like a just a story about a man and his family and him having to provide for his family and love his family. But then so the first like hour is him going to work, coming back to his daughter, and they show his daughter growing. So they show his daughter, and they show him, and they show his wife aging, right? So they're like, um, they don't give you a timeline, but it's like every time he goes back home, his daughter grows a little more. His wife gets a little older. He gets a little older, right? And so eventually his wife gives him an idea like, "Hey, you're already established as a lumberjack, right?" They call him a log worker in the movie, but like cuz the term lumberjack wasn't invented when this movie took place. So I'm just going to say lumberjack. But she's like, you're already established as a lumberjack now, right? Because you've been doing it for years and years and years at this point, or years at this point. And um, she's like, you have one more. Can you do one more job in the woods, and then we can have enough money to start our own like lumber lumber shop, right? Because keep in mind, guys, like wood is still very important to the world today, but back then it was it was a resource that was constantly needed because it was needed to fight in wars. It was needed to um, create beds and stuff like that, and it still is very important to the world today. That's why lumberjacks still exist in the world today. But so he does this one last job, um, and you you start to see like his crew of people that he usually goes to work with, right? Um, Start to die off, right? Because they keep getting older and older, and like some of the guys that mentored him were very old when he first started. So he sees a tree fall on like his mentor, and he has to deal with that and stuff like that. And then halfway through the movie, and the second half of this movie will make you cry. It made me cry multiple times. But the second half of this movie, so he comes back home, right, to see his daughter and his wife, but a wildfire happened, and or a wildfire happened, and his wife and daughter died in the fire, right? So then it jumps forward a couple weeks, and he's at the beginning he's like, I can still find them, I can still find them, and then you can see like him going like losing hope and losing not the will to live, but he's very depressed and because again, dude, he just lost his whole family, right? Because he was away, and he feels guilty for not saving them. So like he has PTSD or something like PTSD because he wasn't there to save them. So he hears his daughter sometimes, he hears his wife sometimes, and even at one point in the movie, he sees his daughter and he thinks his daughter's real, so he like uh and he says to his daughter, your leg's broken, this is gonna hurt, because he has to reset the leg. And like as he continues to move as the movie continues to move forward through his life, like he goes back to work, but he's never the same, right? Like because he lost his child and he lost his wife, so he basically lost his whole family. So the second half of a movie takes a very it's a very good movie, but it's also a very very sad movie. So yeah, and then he meets Claire, and Claire is like a um what you would call today a park ranger, right? Or like a um forest what do they call her in the movie? A forest inspector, right? She inspects that the trees are still healthy and that they can't burn down and stuff like that. And then he starts to open up to Claire, and then uh he has one moment in the movie where he raises a bunch of like stray wolves up like puppies, and he starts to feel happiness. But dude, after his wife and daughter died, he never got to like the happiest he was when they were alive, right? And then um it shows him moving into the 21st uh I think the 21st century. It shows him flying, and it shows him getting flown in an airplane. It shows him walking around like city stuff, because most of a movie is very like he's walking around forests and stuff like that. But at the end of a movie, like he starts to see buildings getting built. He starts to see like usually when you think of a lumberjack nowadays, it's so the way that he cut lumber or cut logs is he would use like a manual saw, right? Not like a chainsaw, because those didn't exist when this movie starts, right? So he uses like a chainsaw. So in this movie, like he uses a normal saw to cut them, right? And he's like cutting these logs, and then his last lumberjack job before he retires, he sees like the chainsaw, and he's like, I don't know how to work this thing, right? Because this goes through his life. Like, so he starts when he's like in his early 20s, and then it goes up to when he's in his 80s. So like you get to see early 20s, early 30s, late 40s, 50s, late 50s, 60s, and then 80s, right? So so and then like again, like he's like he's still losing his friends that he had when he first started, because his friends are either retiring or getting killed or dying off, right? Because again, lumberjack being a lumberjack is a very dangerous job, and um, like Joel Edgerton's performance in this, bro, he's gonna get a Best Actor nod for this. Oh my god, bro! Like this movie really impressed me. Like at first, people were like, if you don't like for me, you guys know this because I cover all the Taylor Sheridan shows, right? My favorite thing that Taylor does, Taylor didn't write this movie, but my favorite thing in any TV show is the characters, right? Like I love action movies. I love superhero content. I love action movies, right? But like if the characters aren't good, then you have no stakes to a movie. This has very little, like it has action to a certain extent, but he's not like fighting people. It has action in the sense of like when the when the wildfire happens, it's tragic. It's not like an action scene. And then uh like when um the the when the accidents happen in the lumber camp, that's tragic. That's not an action scene. But that proves how good of an actor Edgerton is because um, he's the movie lives or dies on his performance, man, and he does a great job. Um, and like at first I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I ended up really liking this movie. It's not my movie of a year or anything. That's still Superman, but it like for me it's like people said this was award season worthy of a movie, and I would have to agree with that. But between Joel Edgerton's performance and the score, like the music in the movie, is really good too, right? And this is a score, like there's no licensed music in it, but this is like a score for a movie as well. So I strongly recommend y'all watch this movie. Uh, Again, it takes place in Idaho, and if you guys this movie's like a mix between This Is Us, um, the tragic elements remind me of 1883 because 1883 is very sad, right? And then like the ending of 1923, the ending of the last season of 1923, especially the last like two episodes of 1923. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of This Is Us, and it reminds me of like, but it's it's it, it's its own thing, and I would strongly recommend you guys watch this movie again. Like this is a career defining performance for Joel Edgerton. Like I always thought Joel Edgerton was a great actor. He's kind of underrated in my opinion, but like if you see this movie you will see how good of an actor he is, bro. Because, again, like, there's other actors in the movie. Like, even the dude, I think it's the dude that plays, Mo from Yellowstone, is in the Yellowstone universe, is in this movie for, like, a few scenes. He's in this movie. I believe he's in this movie. Um, um, and for a few scenes. And then his wife's in it. Robert's wife is in it for like half of a movie. Well, she's in the whole movie because he sees flashbacks of her and he has nightmares about losing his family once the wildfire happens. But um, like she's like the way that they can like the way that whoever wrote this movie and whoever directed this movie too, the cinematography is incredible. Now, not everybody will like this movie because it's a very slow burn, right? It's very slow. You guys know for me, doesn't matter if it's like part of it is part of like this movie is why I like country music so much is because country music you can it tells a story, right? That's why I like hip hop too. Like lyrical hip hop specifically, right? It tells a story, right? This movie tells a story. It's a slow burn to get there, but like, dude, I was almost crying multiple times through this movie because it's so like it gets so sad and so like depressing, right? Like, I don't know if I'll be able to watch this movie again, but like the performance in it from Joel Edgerton is worth watching it. Like, even like I don't feel that I'm doing the movie justice, but I think you guys should watch it if you like uh like character development and like great acting performances. I think y'all should watch this. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. And God bless you guys.